All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So we are going to do a weed sector review, and I'm going to try to throw 5 stocks on this one, all right? We're going to look at TLRY, CGC, ACB, HITI, and SNDL. You know I love calling it Sandal, okay? Look, I am for sure annoyed at what's going on right now with TLRY, okay? That said, I think there's a beautiful story down here in the volume. All right, so that's actually something that's kind of keeping me in check, I think, because I was obviously very excited right here. You know the videos if you were watching it, right? My excitement is obviously still holding, don't get me wrong, right? But I think there's some interesting things happening down here in volume that weren't happening here, even though I was more excited, right? So that's kind of my viewpoint on TLRY, and again, I'll give you more details shortly. CGC and ACB. Look, the amount of pain those two stocks have seen is arguably some of the worst in any sector, all right? I am so happy for all the shareholders, all right? But in some ways, I really hope that like you gained why I keep saying just let the lines tell you what to do. I am not a fan of averaging down. I think averaging down just burns your money. However, when lines break and things go up, that's when you start averaging up. You know what I mean? And I'll kind of try to touch on those thoughts a little bit on those two, but one more time, beautiful movements on those for two stocks that really have seen a lot of pain, all right? High tide breaks my heart a little bit, but there's still some good things, all right? I know it's super easy to focus on that double-digit loss, but there's still some positivity I have for High Tide. You know I didn't listen to the earnings, right? So I don't even know if they dropped. I know someone said they were supposed to happen on Thursday. But yeah, let me know the fundamental thoughts from the team, but I'll give you my technical thoughts. And SNDL, I'm not actually sure what it looks like. That one I'm gonna do live together here. But before we go any further and I give you more of my thoughts and opinions, what are we gonna do? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. Excuse me, we have our 5 moving averages. There's not that many, but there are a couple horizontal support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. And then when we are done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this video online with your friends, comment good or bad. Look, anything you can do helps me so much with these YouTube algorithms, but for real, just being here, giving me your time is beyond appreciated, all right? Look, let's get into it. And TLRY, you know how happy I've been on this sector. It's been a little more than a month of positivity. You know, I was even starting to get a little excited back here in the April-May timing, right? Like there were moments it looked like it was going to break. It clearly never does. This is the break we were kind of looking for, okay? I was very excited from, let's just say from the end of July almost through the beginning of September. Like this was obviously a beautiful move from like in the low dollars and the mid dollars to all the way to nearly 3+. Like that's beautiful, right? We've started going horizontal on TLRY, and I'll tell you personally, it's been annoying me. Okay, you hear me say often, break all 5 moving averages and fly. We're not flying. We're might as well leave it in the bank because all we're doing is going horizontal. Like that's not the rule isn't break all 5 and manage what a bank will do, right? So yeah, I'm sitting here kind of angry that we're not breaking, that we're not going up like we should. No, we're just kind of staying flat. Yeah, I'll be real honest, it's bothering me, okay? That said, here's what's really catching my eye, okay? And honestly, I very much knew this before I hit the recording. This isn't something that like I just saw and you know, thought, right? So I just kind of take that with context. But look, here, I'm going to start here, okay? We make the beautiful move up, all right? In this big move up, volume actually kind of sucked. There was a good chunk right here, and then basically nothing with one outlier, okay? in this move from 2 something to basically the not even 3 that we're at, volume's a very different story. And I'm sorry, I gotta let my cat out. Give me 1 second. What are you doing? What are you doing? Get out of here. Oh, sorry about that. I'm so sorry. Okay, what's the difference? It's, look at this. More people are buying than selling. This day, this big green completely takes out this one. This big green completely takes out this one. This big green takes out this one. This one takes out this one. We still have these 2 and a few other small ones. More people are buying and holding than they were right here. Okay? And as much as I hate horizontal, all right, because literally you might as well just put it in the bank. The bank is going to give you guaranteed money. This thing has a chance of dropping, right? Like, I'm oops, no, I moved my line. I don't know where that line was. Hey, it happens. This ain't perfect. We'll redraw that maybe. And in a lot of ways, I don't need to because there's a lot of moving averages right there. But look, I think we're still doing well on TLRY. All right, I think it's actually worth drawing some new lines because I haven't drawn anything below in a while. All right, so there's clearly a horizontal right here. That's definitely what's stopping us. Look, as I drew that kind of random line, right, you can see we hit a bunch of bottoms right here. So makes sense that this 311 is actually doing some bad stuff. This looks like a little bit of a something right here. I like that line, actually. I think that's not bad because it's almost the top and bottom there. It was basically the top of that, kind of the bottom of those. I'll take that line. I think that's not bad. And then here's the last one I want to put. I think it's something right here. Nice, and that's actually where the wick was. Okay, listen, I don't care how perfect those 3 lines are. Good enough. Oh my gosh, I'm telling you, so many people can't even do good enough, all right? So, but yeah, that's how I draw my lines, baby. I promise you. Even if I was to move over and use my better indicators when I move my money, because watch, if I click blank chart, we came here. Oh, and we're up here. Damn, because this thing's overlaid. I gotta, damn, you would think I would practice things a little better. I think that was that one. That's that one. Nope, didn't work. All right. The moral of the story was if I click one of the other ones, I still get the same horizontals. I swear I do, okay? So as much as I say good enough is good enough here, good enough is actually for real good enough for these 2 as well, all right? So again, back to where I'm at. What am I at? Look, we are under the 8 moving average, and you know I don't like that. What I also don't like is the actual candle itself. When I click into it, the low of the day was 2.93. The close of the day was 2.93. Not even a wick back. Like the entire minute, they were sell, 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 sell till the bell rang. I actually don't like that. That's kind of a bad candle right there. Okay. Look, we've been dancing with the 8 using the 20. Couldn't get back over. I really, really wish we got back over, right? Because we go under, we couldn't, right? We're now kind of below, right? We like green over red. We're definitely red over green right there. That's a little insignificant. Excuse me, a little hiccup right there. It's weird because most things would signal me kind of saying, you know what, I think we're going to come back down to the 20. What's your 50%? 285. What's your up here? 296. What's your 50%? Something like that. 270, which is basically this. All right. Where's your weekly? Let me look at the weekly before I make my next thoughts. Okay, damn. That's a big candle. That's a doji. That's not quite good. That's not quite bad. Ah, man. 270 right here. All right. Okay. This one's a little bit tough. This one is a little bit tough, man. Damn. I will say this, all right? Damn, I wish it was a little bit more days over this 8. We're definitely still over the 20. 20 still coming up, 50 still coming up. On the weekly, this is still going up. This is like, I think things are still, Where's the highest? Damn, yeah, you know how to go real high on the RSI. It's only 82, I guess, but yeah, you were in the 82s for a bit. 87. Damn, this Tilly chart's a little. This is the chart where I would actually really like to use one of these two to get a couple more indicators, to get a couple more like data points to like make a little bit more. I've always said like this stack, it's definitely a basic stack. We do some deadly things with it, all right? And we is a combination of me giving you my thoughts and then people disagreeing and giving me other things or agreeing and reinforcing. Like there's a we to that, I promise you, all right? But dude, this Tilly chart is a little, this is way too 50-50 for something that shouldn't be 50-50. End of the day, the 20 is still holding strong. It actually is. 50 is still holding strong. And I don't know. Because I think this is the last kind of thought, and I've said it on a couple of videos, is this 200 moving average, all right? I don't know if it's too aggressive to think we're going to come down back to the 200 at 250 something. I think 265, 266, basically the top of this guy, 266, I think that's a little bit realistic. I do, all right? I would hope we never go below the 20, all right? I would hope we actually on Monday close at 303. 303 is a very, very big number for Monday's close, all right? Obviously, I have this 311 line here. I'm not going to change that 311 line, but that 303, this is 306 right here. What I'm basically trying to do is get back over the 8, get back over these two candles, right? Because we're under this one. All right, you can see it, not by a lot, but we are. This one closes at 296. We're at 293, right? I want to get over this little insignificant one too, right? That one's 302. 303, 306. I think that's a good number for Monday. Again, there's a lot of things kind of telling me 270s. And then I even think that 266 number taking the top of that. This was a hard Tilly read, okay? End of the day, I'm still, I think, overall bullish until the lines tell me otherwise. I do believe escaping this 50 on the weekly is not an easy thing, all right? It's still going up. We're actually at a positive MACD. The weekly still looking good. That's an ugly, ugly sell volume. But this is a good buy volume on the day. Damn, dude, there's a lot of 50. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your opinions. Let me know if there's any fundamental noise I don't know, actually, right? But Tilly, damn, that was 13 minutes of uncertainty. I didn't like that, actually. Let's go into CGC right here, all right? And, ooh, all right, the first thing I got to do is just zoom us out. And, like, don't forget the pain that this stock has seen. There were moments when CGC was a double-digit juggernaut, all right? And for it to come all the way down to pennies, like, it's easy to see this and, like, you know, forget the past. And hey, look at all the red finally does turn to green, right? Like, man, this is technical analysis 101, all right? Like, you know, I always say get over all 5 and fly, right? But you can actually fly from like right here to here, you know, or like from right here to here, or hey, even from just right here to like there are ways to use the 5 lines when you're between them. You obviously love it when you're above them, and just, you know, stay away when you're under them, right? This was just worth staying away when you're under it. You're under the 8, you get to the 8. You're under the 8, you get to the 8. You're under the 8, you get to the 8. You're under the 8, you escape it, but then the 20 stops it, right? And like you just live that life for a long, long time, right? But then if you can break the 50, you can go to the 100. And when the distance is basically 45 cents all the way up to 74, dude, that's money in the bank. And then one more time, when you can break the 100 and go to the 200, Oof, you can do things like that, right? And again, when the distance is 70 something to $1.60, oh my goodness, right? Like this is how you use when you're in the lines. Right now, what are we trying to do? We're trying to break all five and fly. That is what we're trying to do, all right? And I say it on every single stock. I don't care if it's worth $1.50. I don't care if it's worth 150. I don't even care if it's the NASDAQ, Dow Jones, or S&P that are like 30,000 a share, right? The 200's no joke to break, all right? Especially when you zoom out and you see the fact of the last time you really touched it was once in 2021, once in 2022, and once in 2023. We're averaging touching this thing once a year, right? Like this line has been the death of CGC, let alone these 3 or 4, whatever you want to call it, right? But yeah, this specific line has been no joke. We couldn't get over there. We insignificantly get over it right here. Some wick, some wick. Hey, this was the first candle, but you can see it once isn't enough and we come back down, but the 8 moving average does the job, right? We use it to bounce. We've used it to bounce. I'm still not 100% sure we're breaking the 200. Honestly, look, we used it well. We did use it well. Volume was good. MACD's still going. RSI's like there's actually a good amount of things. Like that's a golden cross right there when a lower one breaks above another one. I don't know if that like 13 minutes of struggle with Tilray is now messing up my CGC view. That's a very real comment because some people might fast forward and like I struggled to think about Tilray. All right, this is a monstrous 8 moving average. That's a great 20. That's a great, like there are a lot of signals of good here. Let me go to the weekly real quick. That 50. It's that 50. Because honestly, again, if you fast forward it, the 50 is struggling Tilly a little bit. The 50 is where CGC was able to just get right now, right? Like these are monster lines. We saw it struggle with the 50 on the daily, right? Like, damn, that is an amazing RSI divergence. That's a nice MACD divergence, so close to positive. Dude, look at that beautiful volume. Look, oh man, it's so hard to look at a bunch of good things and kind of wonder why I'm thinking to myself, this isn't going to do good. You know what I mean? I think a lot of the realities to me also are, dude, we've gone from 40 cents to $1.40 rounding, right? Like there's been a lot of money made. There's been a lot of money made. And look, the 200 moving average isn't some like secret line that only the 2,000 of us know that watch these. Like the 200 MA is a very baseline moving average. And a lot of people know the struggle of it, all right? And it's reasonable to think to yourself, we can get to it. Even that's not an easy thing to do. It's really not. But you can kind of tell the things that I break the 20, go to the 50, break the 50, go to the 100, break the 100, go to the 200. Break the 200 isn't an easy thing to do. And when you've touched it once a year, let alone like battled it, it's hard. And I think I'm giving a lot of respect to this. I think I'm compounding it with the Tilray uncertainty. I think I'm compounding it with the weekly struggle of the 50. I think I'm compounding it with the daily struggle on the 50. Like, I think all those things stacked up are making me take a step back from the colorful lines that I normally live and die by. All right. And end of the day, there are times when rules break. And I think this might, the one important thing to say is, look, if this gets over 154, if we start to see 155, 156, 157, 160, dude, we're breaking the 200 and we're going. Because let me just draw this line. Actually, I'll keep that line too. If we can get over that big candle, oh my goodness, there's nothing stopping this thing. I guess I'll take the bottom of that. And then I guess I'll take the top of that. But look, just from 166 to 220, we're basically going 30 cents and then another 30 cents, 10, 20. Dude, that's a 40% move right there if I did the math right, right? Because rounding every 15 cents is 10%. We're adding 30 and then another 20. Like, all I see is red, 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 green, 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 green. And then what happens? And then nothing. Dude, that is the money line. I'm setting an alert myself right now. 167. 167 could be a beautiful ride to 220. There's one big candle that maybe will do something at 190. You can see it actually wicked it on this day, but no, that's a beautiful channel above the two. That's the money line, okay? I don't know if we're breaking the 200. I don't. And this thing can come down all the way to 117. What did you do after hours? You came down just a little bit. Ah, man. 125 or 116, I think is... Okay, 125 or 120. Because I still see the 8 moving average going up. You know I don't know the math behind the lines. But yeah, it looks like it's going to come up on Monday. It'll probably come to about 121, 125. I wouldn't be surprised if we lose another... We might lose another 10%. Hopefully we can break into this and then smash up there. Damn, let me know what your thoughts are here, all right? I know a lot of people are hyping this, all right? I know a lot of people are saying big numbers because, again, just in general, red, 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 green, 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 like you know I say the words often. I'm not here to do those kind of silly rocket things, you know that, all right? Damn, this has been way more of a 50-50. Damn. This is a beautiful chart right here. Whoa, damn. Let me draw one line that I don't have now because it's basically this horizontal on the bottom of that. 103. Yeah, I'm going to set myself an alert for 104. Okay, what are we doing here? Look, this goes over the 200. Comes back down to it and rips. That's a thing I've been saying across the last two. I actually didn't know that that's what... I don't think we're going to get over that one. And then Tilray, I see us coming here and then ripping. I see ACB doing, and I think that reinforces some of my thoughts on my last one. One thing you know I've said for the longest time was once ACB turns around, the weed sector turns around. And ACB, oh my goodness, all right? This is a if this thing can break 103, it's really hard. I mean, dude, like, oh man, I like this chart. That's I wasn't looking at ACB very well. I'll be real honest with everyone. I'm kind of looking at this thing right now and just being like, damn, right? Like, this definitely did a really good job of like resetting the RSI. It's a little on the high side. It's definitely at a 79, but man, we have broken the 200. That's an amazing golden cross of the 8 and the 200. That's a beautiful 20 golden crossing the 50 and like... I see volume doing that, but I also see volume doing that. So, oh man, I think ACB is probably the one to look at tomorrow. I do. I still think that this one probably has the best leg because we also got over that candle. We did. I think there's a lot of reason to believe that this is coming to 103. I think 103 is the line to 124. And then again, 124, I guess I'll draw this. We'll put that right there. Yeah, you can see it's a bunch of tops and shit. 142. Damn. Where's your weekly at? Damn, you're above. I will say this. You know I don't like us having like dreams of the highest line I got. I think there's reason to believe this is going to come to this little gap fill line. Maybe it only comes to this gap fill line. I really don't think we're going to fill this gap just yet. I think it's very, very, very premature to believe we're going to break $2. Dude, I think that there's still, and dudette, right? You know, I say that to the women, same as the guys, right? But I think there's a good shot that this bad boy still runs and this thing goes into the mid dollars, if not even to that like high dollar line we got there. ACB has seen so much pain that, like, dude, first off, the shareholders deserve it. All right. You know, I believe that. Like, I want everyone to go up and all that. Right. Like, this is the chart I think I expected CGC and Tilray to look like. This one has way less 50-50. I'm hoping ACB does well enough that it can maybe carry the other two and erase all those 50-50 thoughts that I had. This is a nice one. I like it. We're over the 100. We're over the 200. We've confirmed. We've come back down and reset. We gapped up and went. Arguably, you can maybe say that this is a doji because you had an equal wick up, equal wick down. I at least like the fact that it went up a few cents. Someone made a solid 5% on this, even if they didn't catch the gap up. It looked like it was a good, there's still a lot, we've barely used the 8 moving average. If I just go back to CGC real quick, this thing has at least used it a couple times so far. Like, we're still kind of only on this part right here for ACB. Damn. I like this. I like this one for sure. And even on the weekly, that's a beautiful smash of the 50. Hopefully, again, we maybe get some doji stuff and kind of stay around here. If not, like I said, I think there's a shot we actually go to 124. If not, maybe that 118 number. I think 118 ain't that bad. Basically half of that thing. ACB, I think this is the nicest of the 3 so far. All right. Love it. Oops. Okay. The very first thing I got to ask the team on High Tide here is did earnings drop? Okay, please let me know if it did. Someone on the comments on the last couple videos mentioned it was supposed to happen on Thursday. You know, I don't do a lot of fundamental news. I have absolutely no idea what they said or if they said anything. This obviously makes me believe 2 things. Number one, it makes me believe that the earnings didn't happen. All right. The second thing it makes me actually believe is it happened on Thursday. This doji, and I'm going to talk about it a lot more as I get into the technicals, right? But maybe it happened on Thursday. People weren't sure what the reaction was, and this was basically the aftermath reaction. I don't know. All right. That's a couple things. All right. Let me kind of get into first, just one more time, please, if you can let me know. The one thing I'll say is the last 2 earnings, at least, I think all of my viewers, and I say all, actually all, I don't remember seeing very many, if any, bad comments, but all the fundamental lovers of this stock liked the last 2 earnings. The market never really did, though. There was one that it did. I believe it was this one that the market liked. I think after that one, the last couple, our group here has liked it, but the market hasn't. And that kind of leads me to believe that it was, again, that situation where I think most people who are here for the long haul liked it. Maybe the market just didn't. All right. The one thing I'm going to start before I get into any technicals is this doji. Okay. I always say 2 very important things. The first one is the day after the doji tends to tell the truth. This is a tell the truth after the doji, and this alone makes me believe we're coming down to 148, 149, 150 maybe, but I think we're coming down to the 20 moving average. What is this right here? Look, this day opens at 196, flies above 2, dies all the way in below the 190s, and then ends up basically, no, not even basically, exactly where it opened. And it closes at one. The amount of uncertainty here is ridiculous. Most people thought that's it. We're broken all 5 and we're going to just keep flying. Some people thought, no. We're coming back to at least the 8, if not back into this cluster, right? Because that's a real thing, all right? We've been very tight on these 5 lines. And you know I always show these if you're one of my viewers, right? Palantir, you go up, you come down, you go up, you come down, you go up, you come down, it finally takes off. The flip side is HUSA. All right, one more time. And this one happens for months. You come down, you go up, you come down, you go up, you come down, and then you finally die, right? Like, we still might be in a cluster that hasn't quite escaped. This is a beautiful move, and I'm hoping that this is high enough to where, no, we won't come back here. But that's a scary candle. That's a candle that at least makes me kind of believe we're coming here, all right? And hopefully, you always hear me say 8 in the 20, 8 in the 20, 8 in the... Hopefully the 20 does the job, lets it bounce, and goes back up to the 8, all right? I still see an 8 going up, and I still see a 20 going up, right? It's not like this thing made a drastic drop down. The slope changed from like that up there to like now this, but hey, it's okay. It's still up, right? End of the day, the one thing that really scares me, though, is the day after the doji was scary. And that, again, like I said, that is the sole reason I'm telling us I think we're coming down here. In a lot of ways, look how high the RSI got. RSI got to an 85, all right? We're now resetting ourselves. What's this right here? Yeah, I think we come back to a 44. I think taking us down to here will take us to a 44. And hopefully we rip again back up to the 90s and we never go below the 200. That's, I think, the very, 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 very important key. Just don't fall back into the cluster. Keep going up and just healthy bounces. Even a bounce on the 20 and back up is a healthy bounce up. Don't forget that. I know people want to see rockets, but using the 8 and the 20 both on the way up is still okay. No one wants to see a fall from the 8 and the 20. Believe me, I'm not here rooting for it. But falling from here to here is okay if we can use this to go back up. All right? So earnings, man. Let me know what you think about the earnings. What's on the weekly? Look, this ain't a bad weekly. I wish this was a stronger candle. I really, really do. I think we're still over 50%. Yeah, this isn't horrible. That's good volume. That's a little bit high of a RSI. Yeah, it's a little bit high of an RSI. Oh, we've gotten high before, though. It wasn't that long ago. We hit the 90s. I don't know if we're going to come all the way up here. I don't. I think that might be a little aggressive, but at the same time, man, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with 190s. Let's see what happens with 190s. Hopefully we can use the 8. Look, this is only the first day under the 8-2. I think the money line for Monday is 175. Get me back to 175, and hopefully it's a quick climb to 180. 180 might be a little harder break, but hopefully 180 will take us to 190 and then back up on the way up, all right? High tide. Let me know what you think about the earnings. Damn, I am past 30 minutes. SNDL. SNDL. This isn't a bad chart. This isn't a bad chart at all. Pushing 10 million shares. RSI is kind of living right here. We are over all 5. We're trying to, I mean, this isn't a bad chart. This was an interesting set of 5, all right? Oh, man. I think I think in 2 weeks, I'm trying to like think about them all right now instead of the sandal one, but yeah, they're all trying to get over all 5 and fly. Most of them actually are over all 5 and fly. CGC is actually the only one that isn't in the bunch. SNDL, man, it's been using the 8 and the 20 pretty well. We used the 50 once down here. Volume's actually not bad. It does look like from this point to here, there's more good greens than little insignificant reds. I'm quiet because, like, I'm telling you, I'm just like, I think I'm thinking overall thoughts. Then I think next week is going to be a calm week, and then the week after might go. I think that's my thoughts. Watch ACB. That's probably the best one. I know I didn't say very many thoughts on SNDL, so I guess I'll at least, let me add that right there, and that's basically what's stopping this little movement. I think that's too many lines, though. I don't want to go, like, line crazy. But we've been living in this RSI for like this isn't bad. That's the last thing I really want to say. All right, I like we are bouncing on the 8. We're over them all. Like this is not bad. I think. Oh man, That damn, they're all signaling basically the same thing too. It's all about the 50 on the weekly, the 200 on the daily. Most of them are going up. A lot of them have high RSIs. I think next week is calm, the week after goes. That is my overall thought, actually. Let me know your thoughts and opinions. Longer video than I expected, but you know I appreciate your time. Thank you. Thank you.